Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Only Friends episode 7. Last episode ended dramatically. Ray stomped off after he tried to make Mew realize that Top actually slept with Boston, and he was trying to hide that fact from Mew. And the worst thing about that is that Mew actually considers Boston a friend and doesn't even see that Boston is a shitty person. So that was even worse for Mew now to realize, first off, that his friend didn't care about his feelings, that his boyfriend didn't care enough to tell him about it, which makes it seem that he hasn't changed at all since the day they met, and since he tried to make him believe that he's willing to change for him because he actually likes him and wants to be with him. I'm pretty sure that Mew broke up with him, like he must have had to. Ray was hurt. He realized that his friends only cared about their perfect image and didn't care about how much he's suffering on the inside. Chum just said, "You're drunk and you acting like this is not gonna make him like you." But it's the fact that they don't even care why he gets drunk. They just keep on thinking that they have the right to go up to him and tell him, yeah, quit drinking, it's not good for you. They don't actually care enough about each other in the first place. And second of all, they don't care enough about Ray to wonder why he gets drunk in the first place. They just keep on telling him, yeah, you need to stop drinking. They don't actually care enough about him to try to figure out why he drinks. And that makes me sad. We saw in the preview for this episode that Mew's gonna enter his dark era, and I'm actually so ready to see it. When a nice guy calls you out on your bullshit, you know you fucked up. You know you screwed up when a nice guy calls you out. So I'm intrigued to know what Mew's dark era looks like, and please let me see San whoop Ray's ass because he actually tried to stop Ray from driving drunk, and Ray said, "I don't care, I'm gonna drive drunk," and San actually said, "I'm driving after him because I can bear the thought of him getting hurt." So let's see what this episode holds for us. If you like this kind of content, please make sure to subscribe. If you would like to see the full and uncut version of this episode, you can find it on my Patreon. The link is in my description box below. And without further ado, let's see. Is he seeing him in the back mirror? I love Sam. Oh, it's so cute. I'm sorry, I can't move on. Look at his face. He's completely broken. I'm sorry, people, but like, it's the fact that his psychological pain is much, much more powerful than his physical pain. And that's when I keep on telling you, he has become unhinged because he has been carrying pain inside of him for such a long time. He never found a way to actually get it out of his system. He kept on laying negative thoughts, negative emotions on top of bad emotions that he was already trying to bury within himself. And this was his limit. He couldn't bear all this hypocrisy anymore. So he was like, I have to spill everything because nobody actually has the guts to tell the truth. In comparison to his so-called friends, even though you all know I don't think that they're friends at all. I think that they're all shitty and they all need to cut each other loose. Ray actually gets shit on trying to show what he's feeling on the inside. Like, as soon as he tries to tell people about his psychological problems, as in about his inner pain, about what he's struggling with, his so-called friends make fun of that. Oh, he's just being sentimental. They don't take his feelings seriously. And that's a very bad environment. They don't take his feelings into consideration. They just say whatever they feel like. And they don't see that he's actually dying on the inside. He has nobody he can share his worries with. He is surrounded by people, but at the same time he's not. Because this is all a shallow thing. They are all shallow. You as a person, sooner or later, you want a person who you can have deep, heartfelt conversations with. Someone you can share your worries with, someone that understands you, someone that tries to lift your moral when you don't feel like doing anything anymore, someone that holds you down to the ground. someone that is capable to pull you out of that dark hole, out of that dark place that you let yourself fall into. Ray doesn't have that person. And the people he surrounds himself with, they are all shallow. They can't do that. They aren't his emergency contact. He always thought that Mew is his emergency contact. After he got together with Top and everything, he's realized that Mew is actually not his emergency contact, and that Ray was never Mew's emergency contact. As in, he couldn't count on Mew anymore to pull him back, to pull him out of his dark place, and that already put a lot of pressure onto Ray's mind, as in, if I should fall back into bad habits, as in, if I should have the feeling that I want to end my life again as I did 4 years ago, who is gonna pull me out? It's not gonna be Mew anymore. I don't think that Mew hates him because he killed Top by exposing that he knew about Top's relationship with Boston, but he still hit him. So not having the confirmation that Mew doesn't hate him right now makes him die even more, because he's like, I don't have anyone anymore. Right now he's pushing Sand away because he's like, I just lost my emergency contact. I don't have anyone anymore. All of this darkness that I have inside of me, I can't unleash it onto anyone. And right now he's drowning in his suffering. Technically, the physical pain is nothing against the psychological pain he's having on the inside. I'm pretty sure that he's not even feeling his broken arm. Love it. Sir, yes I do. He has to put insult to injury. After the problems were too much for him, now he's unhinged. He's literally exploding, and he's taking down everyone down with him. As in, down to a very dark place, into pain, into suffering, because he himself is suffering. So since nobody actually cares, he doesn't care making anyone around him feel miserable. That's like a selfish kind of thing, if I say it out loud like this. But at that moment, someone that is driven only by despair and pain doesn't care if he hurts people around him in the process. Even if he knows deep down that they truly love him, they don't care about making the person in front of them feel miserable as well. Because he's like, I'm suffering. Why are they not suffering? They be living their best lives, not caring about my feelings at all. So why are they happy? Sand has to put insult to injury, because Ray's not actually realizing that he's literally destroying himself. He literally was willing to drive drunk, and he got into an accident, as in, Sand is saying, you could have died. Was it worth it? Was it worth it hanging on to someone that just doesn't love you like that back? Was it worth it just saying, okay, I'm just gonna drive because nobody cares anyway, so if I die, I die, it doesn't matter? Was it worth it? Yes! He can he? People... I can't. Why are Sand and Ray's scenes so heartfelt, so powerful? I have to say this. I've seen so many people talk about it, but I don't think that some people actually realize how hard it is to love yourself when nobody shows you that you're worthy of being loved. A lot of people say that your own opinion is the most important thing in your life. Like, you have to love yourself. Yes. But it's difficult to love yourself when everyone around you keeps on talking down on you, keeps on making you feel that you're not worth it. Like, you have to have some sort of anchor, someone that you can rely on to be there to help you if you should ever think badly about yourself. Someone that keeps on reminding you how great you are, how beautiful you are. You have to have that person. When you don't, you keeping on telling yourself that you're okay is not gonna cut it. It's very difficult to convince yourself that you're worthy of being loved when you keep on being confronted with your worst fears. People around you ignoring you, people telling you that you're not worth it, people talking down on you, overseeing you. That also has to do with your personality. If you're insanely sensitive and you don't have a very high self-esteem, sooner or later, you will just start to believe if I'm gone, then at least I won't be suffering. Because if I'm dead, who will cry for me? If I'm worthy of being loved, then there are also people around me, sooner or later, that will love me, right? If I'm worthy of being loved. But where are these people? Nobody gives a damn about me.
กูขอบใจมึงมากนะที่ช่วยชีวิตกูไว้อะกูไม่ได้เก็บกู้อยู่แล้ว
Yes. Okay, I love this. I love the throwback. I love the throwback. I already said it so many times before. Ray always was like, my emergency contact is Mew. Now, he can't count on Mew anymore because after the punch, their friendship is like on critical condition. And now he's like, I'm your emergency contact. As in, I'm there for you. I've been there for you since the first day we met. And that's actually not a lie. Even though he couldn't stand him, he was still there for him. He's his real emergency contact. Sand is literally always there for him. Now, Ray, it's your time to be there for him.
Hey,
Who's that? Is that the dad? So this is his biological father? It has to be. So the mother didn't care and the father only shows up when the hospital called him. What a father he is. Wow. Standing ovation.
รถราคากี่ล้านรู้ไหม
See, he only, oh my god, people, I am so mad. I will never continue. I will be stuck in this situation forever. He actually only cares about the bike. He does not care about the fact that Ray is hurt right now or that he's suffering internally. He's not like, oh my gosh, are you okay now? Like the hospital called me. Don't worry about the car. The important thing is that you're alive. No. Do you know how expensive that car was that you smashed? Look at Sam. Don't care. Look at him. He told Sand that he feels like a burden, that his mother made him feel like a burden. And that's exactly what his father is doing as well. He's like, I have to make time to clean up after your messes. He does not care that he's feeling sad. He can't even talk to his father, people. I am so sad for Ray. I'm suffering for Ray. He literally just wants someone he can hold on to. Someone that will lead him to a safe place. Someone that will become his comfort zone. And he doesn't have that. His father was actually like, maybe I should just send you to jail. That way you can quit drinking. Not asking why he keeps on drinking. No, I'll send you to jail so that way you can stop drinking. What a piece of shit. See? Burden! I'm sorry, girl. Girl, you may be pretty, but you don't come at me like that. You don't know the word friendship as well. You consider your colleagues as friends, but that's not a friendship you are all having. It's not a friendship. And if it is a friendship, then it's a toxic friendship because you all just don't care about each other. Right now, she's feeling betrayed that he was like this because she was shipping Top with Mew in the first place. So she's like, how could he do this? Couldn't he care about friendship? I know that this is about Boston, but girl, you're no better. See? Like I said, it's a Stark era now. Oh, I love Mew. Mew is great. He's like, oh, I stopped being a good boy long ago. Don't worry. My evil era is here. Sir, let me tell you something. You're still a good person. Don't kid yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You just stopped being, let's just say, being naive to a bad person's tricks. You became smarter. You're still a good guy. But show your bad personality traits, sir. We have good personality traits and bad personality traits. From this moment, Mew showed good personality traits. He was friendly. He was worried about his friends. Now show your bad personality traits. I must be... Let's do it. Never underestimate kind people. They will chew you up and spit you out without regret. Never underestimate a nice person. They can become very dangerous and very evil if they want to be. Do not mess with good people. Well, sir, no, stop. I can't. People, this episode is gonna be so much to edit. Oh god, I will never finish. Sir, you did that bullshit to yourself. You did that to yourself. You are not a good person. If you would have been a decent person, you wouldn't have tried to sleep with your friend's boyfriend. You would have accepted that this is how life is, that he's not interested in you anymore, and that he started to be with your friend Mew. You acting like a douche and being exposed for it, and your friends hating you, that's on you. If you wouldn't have done something disgraceful, something unforgivable, your friends wouldn't hate you. He's like, you started this when Boston was the one that started it. You know that this is a toxic person. When you call them out on your bullshit and they try to twist it around as if it was your fault to begin with because you started the conversation. That's a toxic person. He needs to be dumped in the trash. Sorry, you deserve so much better. He is such an asshole. He's never gonna commit to anyone. And I feel bad for Nick because he truly fell in love. Like I said, I don't understand why he fell in love with him. Maybe he fell in love with his words, but I don't see anything else. Because in some certain way, I don't think that Nick is only interested in superficial stuff, as in sex, like Boston is. So I don't really understand why Nick loves Boston. But let's ignore that for a second. Boston is a manipulative, conniving little asshole. And as long as he doesn't realize that what he's doing is trash, as soon as he doesn't realize that his view of things is wrong, no one should be his boyfriend and nobody should be close to him. He has to realize for himself what a bitch he is and how horrible he has been treating the people around him. And the only way for him to figure that out is if everyone backs off of him. Everyone completely shutting him out, him being on his own, realizing or trying to understand why people decided to leave him, and then figuring out what bullshit he did and ask for forgiveness. It may not make everything okay, but at least people will see that he changed, that he realized his mistakes, and then maybe sooner or later his so-called friends will try to give him another opportunity. But right now, he deserves nothing. Nick, you knew that. Sir, people, I keep on pausing. I can't. Sir, there is no excuse that you actually could bring right now that would excuse any of your behavior before you slept with him, when you decided to sleep with him, and after you slept with him. Nothing you could say right now could excuse anything you do right now. First off, you never told your boyfriend that you slept with his friends once. Second, you lied about the fact where you were going. You were like, yeah, I'm going to my dad. And then you slept with Boston. And then after you slept with him, you didn't tell him and didn't try to make amends. You were only like, Boston, get away from me. I don't want to see you anymore because I like Mew. You were like, I'm just gonna try to ignore the fact that I slept with him again and make Mew believe that everything is completely fine, hoping that nobody will ever find out the truth. Don't do things you could regret, and nobody can expose your dirty laundry. That's what I keep on saying. I never lie. If I did a mistake, I own up to my mistake, because that way I can't be blackmailed. Like, nobody can try to, manipulate me into doing something they want, because I'm always honest. If I did something wrong, I tell you, and I apologize, and I always try to at least be a decent person, you know? And he thought that that's the right excuse to sleep with his friend. No, you don't. Don't say that. You don't hurt someone you love. Period. There is nothing that could excuse his mistrust. Trust is earned, and trust is difficult when you have been hurt psychologically in the past. We don't know much about Top's past, but nothing he says can excuse the fact that he slept with his friend. He could have talked to Mew about his insecurities. He was willing to do everything but tell Mew that he's jealous of his friendship with Ray, because knowing that Ray likes him makes him feel that Mew sooner or later is gonna give in, because that's exactly what he has been doing. He slept with Austin because he was being insecure about the fact that Mew could actually just love him, because he knows how he's like. He slept with him by the slight thought that Mew could be like sleeping around with Ray behind his back, and knowing that Ray actually likes Mew, and Mew keep on defending him, telling him that he's his friend, always being around him made him feel insanely insecure, and he was like, he's gonna leave me. He's gonna sleep with his friend just like I have, you know? I caved by the slight temptation to could sleep around, and I'm pretty sure that he could do that too. As in, he didn't trust Mew, and he didn't know what kind of a person he truly is. That's what you did. That's how the love burns. I'm sorry. I love the metaphor they're using here. He's like, oh, you want me to hold on to good memories. They all have been fake. You have been trying to convince me that you're a better person already, but it never worked. My heart burns. My heart hurts when you say love, because I know that you're incapable of love if you were capable to do this to me with someone I considered a friend. You were not thinking about me at all when you decided to take that step. It was a choice. You chose to sleep with my friend. It was your choice. You could have chosen differently. And even though, like I said, Boston pulled the strings here, it was still Top's decision to go for it or not. He went for it. So that's what he gets. His heart burns just by the thought that Top is like, I want a second chance. He's like, that's what you did to my heart. You ripped it into pieces, and you made it flare up. The love I have for you has been incinerated. Try to pick up the pieces of my heart if my heart has already been burned down to the ground, just like this piece of paper. How are you gonna put the pieces together if my heart is no longer there? How are you gonna win my heart over again if the love I have for you is no longer where it used to be?
อาบน้ำโกนหนวดให้หน่อยดิ
No.
นะ
Yes. He's gonna help you.
ไอ้เละลองผมดูลองกูคืนนึงไม่ได้เหรอติดกูมากกว่าติดเหล้านะทำไมชอบมีแต่คนหากูติดเหล้าอะ
I love that he's talking about it now. He's like, why does everyone think that I'm an alcohol addict? I drown myself in alcohol because I'm trying to drown out the pain. I'm trying to drown out the suffering. But I'm not an addict. Like, I don't necessarily need to drink. I just drink it because I can't deal with my problems on my own. They are too much. I'm suffering. I'm drowning in my problems. And since I can't talk to anyone, I drink alcohol in hope that maybe the next day will be better.
กูแค่อยากกินตอนที่กูอยากแต่มึงอยากตลอดเวลาไง
Yes, he's suffering. I mean, technically they complement each other. I actually thought that Ray was completely on his own. No, but his father actually doesn't care. He's like never there. Sand has the mother that Ray always wanted, like someone that actually cares about him, that tries to make conversation, that hugs him. And Sand always wanted a father. Like, you always crave for both parents. You don't only want one parent. You always want both. So both of them can give each other what they crave in a certain sense. They balance each other out. One person can give the other one what the other one needs. They can have that attention of the parent figure that they need or that they seek. He likes him. The way he looks at him has changed. Like, he has always looked at him in some kind of sensual way. But you can actually see that right now it's not only sensual anymore. It's actually like a craving. He craves for his presence. He craves for his touch. That's when you know that someone likes you. His way of looking at him has changed. Because you guys don't give a damn about him as well when he's drunk. Like, people actually don't connect the dots here. This is making me mad. Like, in this scene, especially here, After seeing that they've been given Ray bullshit the entire time, and Ray was actually just trying to look out for him that night, they all feel insanely guilty for yelling at him like that. And in this scene particularly, you can see that Chum and Mew actually truly care about Ray. They're like, you should have told us. Why don't you think about us when you're in problems? Like when you're hurting? Because you guys don't think about it yourselves. When I'm in pain, when I'm suffering, I would expect my friends to worry about me and take the initiative to ask. If my friend doesn't reach out to me, I have to reach out to them. Like, it's a take and give in any sort of relationship. They're upset right now because they're like, why didn't you reach out to us? And he's literally having that thought in his mind where he's like, because you don't think about me in the first place. When I'm suffering, when I'm drinking, you are all complaining about the fact that I'm drinking, but not why I'm drinking. You don't see what I do when I suffer. So how can I tell you? But that's also a problem of miscommunication. But the fact is, you can see here that they're worried about Ray. He's there for you. I love it. He's like, I'm right here. He's not overstepping his boundaries, you know. He's not trying to talk badly about Top because he's like, he already knows what he's capable of. He knows what kind of person he is. And there's nothing more I need to do. There's nothing more that I need or should add here. He already has everything clear. For me, at this point, because I'm his friend, this is where my part in this drama ends. This is your relationship, or it was your relationship, and it's your problem with your friend. I'm gonna be right next to you, guiding you on your way. I'm gonna be there for you. And that's it. This little bitch here, you are such trash. You are such a big trash. He's like, oh, he got his arm hurt. Now I have to look. Bitch, don't lie to yourself. You were just looking for a way to get out of your solitude. You did never care. You never cared about your friend's feelings. You slept with Mew's boyfriend, and you were trying to make Ray feel bad for having feelings for Mew, and made him feel like if he tells Mew about what you and Top did to him, that he's gonna lose his friendship. And you played with his feelings. Now you care about his arm? You don't care about anything but yourself. Oh, hell no. This is something that my mom keeps on telling me when we have like these deep conversations. She's like, we have arrived at a time where people are being used and things are being loved. And not the other way around. That was her saying that humanity is shallow now. I love the fact that it's being brought up like this. He's like, I just borrowed him. He's a person. He has feelings. You can't just borrow a person. Literally, as if you would ask me if you could borrow my purse. As in, I just borrowed your boyfriend for half a night. Like, but I returned him safe and sound. Like, you could sleep with him afterwards. What's the problem? I cannot. You can't completely blame Sand. You can't completely blame Sand. Top and Boston did that to themselves. He only helped expose the truth. They were nasty people and they needed to be called out on their bullshit. You can't blame Sand for taking the audio clip without your permission. Poor Sand, like his face. He's actually feeling kind of bad. He's feeling kind of guilty. But you are not actually doing this because Mew and Top broke up. You're doing this because you want to vent. You want to let your anger out on someone involved in your pain. You're like, if Sand wouldn't have sent the audio to Ray, everything would have been fine. Like, I would have still been capable to win Boston over. But now he's gonna blame me because I tapped his car and I had the audio recording in the first place. And he was like, I will never ever love you. But sir, you already knew that. You can't blame him for that. See, that's why he's... They're all selfish in this series. All selfish. Okay, like I said, Top and Boston did that to themselves. Sand shouldn't have taken his phone just to send himself the audio clip, but technically, this was a lesser evil, Nick. This was a lesser evil. You're just mad because Boston cut yourself off, and you're so in love with him that you didn't care that he treated you like shit. Like you preferred him treating you like shit, and you losing yourself rather than losing him completely and you being completely free of his toxicness. You would have preferred him to break you into pieces rather than to lose him in your life. That's a very bad view you have.
ถ้านายได้ถ่ายคลิปเราอะยอดซับนายเพิ่มขึ้นแน่
Oh, okay, Mew. That's an attitude I find very hot.
ก็หนังสั้นที่มึงไปเล่นกับเด็กวิบากที่ชื่อแก๊ปไง
Yes, break him into pieces. Break him into pieces. Make his daddy know how bad of a person he is. Destroy him. You know, this is the kind of pettiness that I condone. I condone to this kind of pettiness. And the kind of extra. He is insanely extra doing this. And I'm all here for it.
สอนกูบ้างดิ มึงให้พ่อกูเห็นคลิปนี้ไม่ได้
Yes,
นะ
you
เว้ย
can. Why can't I? Would that be too much? Like you were being too much?
ถ้าคบคนเหี้ยกูไม่จำเป็นต้องเหี้ยตามก็ได้
He beat him by being the bigger person. Oh, I love it. By the way he was acting, I actually thought that he was gonna be like petty like this. I would have condoned to it. But no, he said, I'm gonna beat you by being the bigger person. We love Mew. Even in his worst state, he is better than your sorry ass. Oh my god, sir. Please not again. If Mew is getting hurt, I swear to god. I knew it. I knew that Mew was gonna get hit, people. I just had the feeling.
แค่เพื่อนจริงดิ
See? I can't.
จะเห็นค่าของคนที่อยู่ใกล้ตัวก็
When it's too
late.
No. Don't be coming at me like this. No. Oh no. I don't know how to feel about this. It's not too late. Oh.
มันอยู่ที่มึงแล้วว่าจะเปิดใจให้กูหรือเปล่า
People, I have the feeling that we made like an insane jump to the past. Just that the roles in this situation, I would say they're not reversed, but like they're different. Rei has been fighting for Mew to open up his heart to him, and he kept on pushing him away. Right now, he's not really pushing him away, but he's showing him that there could be a chance in this particular situation. Because he would have stopped him a long time ago if he truly wouldn't believe in giving him a second chance, you know? And he's not doing it. He's actually letting him speak, and he's allowing him to get closer to him, as in to close in on his personal space. I have the feeling that the entire scene in the beginning with Rei being saved by Sand has been completely annihilated, like extinguished. Rei is still at the same spot where he was in episode 1. He is still head over heels for Mew. He is still only using Sand as a distraction. They keep on circling, you know?
คนที่กูควรจะรักอะอาจเป็นมึงก็ได้นะ
Wow. It's happening. It's really happening right now. Sand! I feel so bad. No, why did they have to do this?
อะไรกันอะ
What? Hold up. Stop. I hate this. Like, literally. This reminds me of that one Charlie Puth song. You just want attention. You don't want my heart. Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new. This is actually giving me that exact vibe of this song. He does not want to be with Sand, but he wants to have him in his personal space. He wants him to be his person, as he wants Sand to take care of him, but he doesn't give Sand the time of day. And as soon as Sand tries to move on, as in to drown himself like you are doing with the alcohol, just he is doing it by returning to his old habits, as in having one-night stands, he shows up and says, what are you doing? Sir, leave! I cannot. This next episode is gonna be even more dramatic, I feel. Oh god, and I have the feeling next episode we are gonna see a lot of bitch slaps, because I have the feeling Rei and Mew are gonna be like the main thing in the next episode. They will try to give each other a chance. And Mew has always been kind of like Rei's babysitter. So they're gonna go out, party, everything. And Top is gonna follow Mew as has been doing this entire episode, and he's gonna try to like set some doubts into Mew about Rei, which I don't think is gonna do anything. I don't think Mew is gonna believe anything that Top says at the moment, but if Rei actually drags Mew just out to party, then that's not a good thing. But that does not mean that he only means bad. It doesn't mean that he actually means to hurt Mew. So now, I don't like the fact that Rei went up to Sand and he was like, I can like as many people as I want. Like, if you want to, okay, but don't use me. Don't play with my emotions just because you can't get over your first love. And I think next episode is actually gonna be the main center of it all. And next episode is gonna be the biggest telenovela I've seen, I have the feeling. But yes, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye!